Sometimes, the people around you don't realize what you're going through, not because they don't care, but because they're busy, distracted, or they assume you're doing just fine. And so, without anyone meaning harm, you start to feel like a background character in your own life. It's like everyone else is moving forward, and you're stuck quietly waiting to be noticed, to be needed, to be asked for your opinion again. But here's something important. Just because others forget to ask doesn't mean you don't have wisdom to give. Your experience, your insight, it doesn't disappear just because no one's listening at the moment. What we need to do in these moments is gently remind others, and even ourselves, that we still have value. One way to do that is by creating small, meaningful connections again. It doesn't have to be something big. Maybe it's a phone call to a grandchild where you don't just ask how they're doing but share a little story from your own life. Maybe it's writing down your memories in a notebook, or better yet, turning them into little lessons and sharing them at the right moment. You'd be surprised how powerful a simple story from your past can be. People might not ask for it, but when you offer it from the heart, it sticks. Another thing that often happens is we measure our worth based on what we used to do. Maybe you were the one who held the family together during tough times, who took care of everyone, who worked hard day and night. And now, when those responsibilities are gone, it feels like you've lost your identity. But here's a gentle truth. You are not your job title, your chores, or the number of people who need you daily. You are still you, still wise, still kind, still full of life, and your value isn't gone just because your routine changed. Sometimes it helps to shift our perspective from being needed in the same ways as before to being present in new, meaningful ways. Maybe you're no longer cooking dinner for 5 every night, but you can teach your grandchild your secret recipe on a Sunday afternoon. Maybe you don't go to the office anymore, but your neighbor needs a kind word or a bit of advice you're uniquely equipped to give. Roles can change, but purpose doesn't have to disappear. Sometimes, it just needs to evolve. And when society seems to look right past older people, when ads, headlines, and technology all seem geared toward the young, it's easy to feel left out. But here's the thing, society often underestimates what it desperately needs. Wisdom, patience, depth, perspective. These are not things that come from being 25. They come from living, from failing, from rebuilding, from loving and losing and loving again. That's the role you still hold, maybe not as loudly or visibly as before, but deeply, quietly, and powerfully. If no one around you acknowledges your role, don't let that define you. Create your own. Build a rhythm that brings you joy and lets others see your spark again. Whether it's joining a community group, mentoring someone younger, starting a small garden, or even sharing reflections online, yes, even at 70 or 80, there are ways to step back into the light. The truth is, no one can take your place in this world. No one can tell your stories or live the life you've lived. And that, in itself, is a powerful role, being the keeper of memory, the steady hand, the wise voice in a noisy world. You don't have to shout to be heard. But you do need to keep speaking, keep showing up, and keep reminding others, and yourself, that your presence still matters, deeply.